Thank you, class of 2026, for allowing me to be a part of your journey. This class has made a lasting impact on me, personally and professionally, and I will always be grateful for the memories we have shared together, especially all of you in my backyard the other night. While today marks the end of one chapter, it also the beginning of an exciting new one. And I have no doubt that each of you will go on to accomplish great things. Congratulations, class of 2026. Continue to make the world better, just as you made Lake City High School better. Find your pack, build your pack. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2026 has one valedictorian and one salutatorian. These outstanding students will now make their presentations. Please come to the lectern, class of 2026 valedictorian, Eric Pierce.
And most importantly, the class of 2026. If I'm being honest, no speech, no beautiful poetic manuscript I could deliver today would truly convey every message that should be made. Trying to is almost like describing a dog to someone who's never seen one, then asking them to draw it. You truly need to be there. However, the one thing that we can do today is give you some tools. Tools that you can use to look back and you can use to be able to build something better tomorrow. So to start, I have a request from my classmates. If you have lost track of how many times someone has asked you to tell them your future plans, please raise your hand. Thank you. The point being, we have spent so much of our last few months focusing our lives on what's next. And of course we are. This day does not just mark an end to our high school careers, but over a decade of education. This day is the flap of a wing as a bird first flies away, or the reading of the first line in a book that took 18 or so years to write. From here, the 350 plus people in this class represent immensely different backgrounds and enough stories to run the world dry of ink. But even with that, we are all sharing a common experience of uncertainty. Either if that is a leap into the workforce, college, the military, or a gap year, what's next to all of us is a mystery. This uncertainty drives us to spend our days worrying about what's next, or denying change to avoid it. This creates conflict within ourselves and maybe even with the people we care about. The stress of a job, collegiate homework, boot camp, and finding meaning can make us forget the basics. We get lost in the sauce, lost in the moment. But even further, the most trivial things can drive us to do this as well. 2 years ago, I learned how true this was. While volunteering as a medic at Silver Mountain, we responded to a severe spinal injury. As we carefully prepared the patient for EMS transport, I spent a long, quiet stretch of time taking medical histories from the patient's crying fiance. At that moment, all of her daily stresses, her job, a minor argument they had earlier that day, the trivial disagreements with life, completely shattered under the weight. I remember holding my clipboard, listening to her plead for a second chance just to have him be okay. What was left for her was the raw truth of what actually mattered most. The man lying in front of her, the fiance. So I ask you all to think, what actually matters most to you? What would you ask for if you were the last one, if you were the one in the hospital bed? I sure hope it isn't trophies, grades, stacks of cash, whatever items of the sort. What would you call for when your time might be limited? For so many people here, they have felt the loss of ones they love. The emptiness when someone you care for isn't there. It is a solemn reminder that compels us to think. a moment to truly care about what matters, the people in our lives. It is my hope in this speech we can recognize this, and not be saddened, but rather hopeful for what is next, the time we have with the people in our lives. Not in the context of employment, which has surely been on our minds enough, but rather hope in the people around us, in the people we care about, not tomorrow, but today. Life is a mix of those massive, heavy realities and the beautiful, ridiculous, everyday moments we share. It's the balance of both. Those small moments where you're in a classroom, playing imposter with your friends, shout out to Mr. Kilsfed. When a teacher tries to speak Gen Z slang and the class laughs half amused and usually half horrified. Or the moments you get a seating chart back and you are the next person, or you are next to the person you caused the most chaos with, bound to never get an assignment turned in. Well, the milestone we're achieving today is crucial. And we did, in fact, let me channel my best Mr. Ward impression, slay. It's the people in our lives that made it worth doing. That is truly the point. Also, Mr. Ward now owes me $20 per our agreement. Through the heavy and the light moments, my final send-off to you is that as you fly out of the nest, remember to look down and appreciate the view, and migrate with good wingmen or women. Thank you, and congratulations to this class, the class of 2026.
Next, salutatorian, Kian Blomer.
Hopefully I can pull up that wonderful speech by Eric real quick. That was quite amazing. Alright. Before I begin, I'd like to thank my family for the endless support, encouragement, and belief in me throughout my life. I'd also like to thank my wonderful siblings for traveling all this way to be here today. It means so much to see you guys here. Finally, I'd like to thank my parents for everything they've done for me. I am who I am today because of you two. And I couldn't ask for a better mom and dad. Now, I thought I might try something today. I'd like to introduce Aiden Murphy, whom I asked to play some guitar for us while I talk. If you don't know Aiden, he's one of the most talented musicians I know. But more importantly, he's such a wonderful human being. Every day he finds some way to make people laugh, some way to be there for someone who needs it, or simply some way to make the day a little better for everyone around him. He's the kind of person who never asks to be the center of attention, yet somehow his presence makes every room feel more welcoming. Most importantly to me, he's one of my best friends. I can think of so many occasions where Aiden has been there for me. When he sat and listened to a random idea I had, when he would give me a ride to school almost every day, or when he would simply join me in something so I wouldn't be alone. Some of my favorite memories have been spent with him. Whether it's driving around taking photos, having conversations that lasted long enough to fall asleep talking, or just finding ways to make ordinary days memorable. Those are the moments that occurred to me long after today. Aiden has impacted my life in more ways than he probably realizes. He's encouraged my interests, helped me grow as a person, and taught me the value of simply showing up for people. Sometimes the greatest thing a friend can do isn't solve your problems, or have all the answers. Sometimes it's just being there. But while I can stand up here and tell stories about Aiden all evening, that's not really what this speech is about. And that's what makes friendship so special. While the names of the stories may be different, almost everyone here has someone who has impacted their life in a similar way. In fact, I'd like everyone who graduated to do something for me. Take a few seconds and find someone or two around you who has helped shape your high school experience. Maybe it's your best friends, maybe someone you've known since elementary school, maybe someone you only met a year ago. Just look at them for a moment, give them a wave, and maybe, just maybe, a smile. The odds are that many of your favorite memories from high school involve a person. Not a test, not a grade, not a sport or activity on their own. A person. And for me, Aiden isn't the only person who comes to mind. I think about people like Jacob, someone who'd drop anything and just go to Denny's with me in the middle of the night. Or Connor and Spencer, who would on a whim would go down to Boise with me. I think about friends like Zach and Sawyer, who had me try new things and push boundaries of what I could do. I think about my teammates like Maverick and Bronson, who made every practice just that much more enjoyable. And I think about all the friendships that were built in class, in sports, in clubs, and on random trips over the last few years. When people ask us about high school years from now, most of us probably won't remember what we got on math test or what assignment was due on a random Tuesday. We'll remember the people. We'll remember the inside jokes that nobody else understood, the late night conversations, the bus rides after a competition, the random stops at beat-ups with our friends. The moments that seemed ordinary at the time, but became memories we'll carry forever. In fact, some of these memories are still being made. Just a couple days ago, some friends and I had the brilliant idea to see if I could do a backflip before graduation. As some of you may have noticed, next year did not go particularly well. I ended up with a little bit of rug burn and bruise on my face, and I'm now proudly bringing it through graduation. But honestly, when I think back on this week, years from now, I probably won't remember the rug burn. I'll remember laughing with my friends afterwards. I'll remember the people I was with. I'll remember the one last memory we made before we all went our separate ways. And I think that's how many of our high school memories work. The event itself isn't always what matters most. What matters is who was standing beside us when it happened. As we move into the next chapter of our lives, some of us will stay close. Some of us will move away. Some friendships may change with time. But one piece of advice I've heard again and again from people older than myself: don't be afraid to reach out. Keep the people you care about in your life. And if someone drifts away, don't be afraid to reconnect. A simple message, a phone call, or even just checking in can mean more than you realize. So I can leave you with one challenge today, it'd be this. Before the day's over, reach out to someone who's impacted your life. And just send them a text. Tell them thank you. Tell them about a memory you cherish, much better. Tell them how much they mean to you. Because while diplomas celebrate what we've accomplished, it's the people we share the journey with who give those accomplishments meaning. And while I started this speech talking about Aiden, I hope each of you leaves today thinking about your own Aiden. The friend who helped shape your story and make these last 4 years a little brighter. God bless, keep smiling, and congratulations, class 2026. Thank you.
For this year's valedictorian, Eric Pierce, and salutatorian, McKean Blum. Next, we have a musical presentation by our Lake City High School Chamber Choir under the direction of our very own Miss Brittany Funheller.
Pleasure to accept this graduating class and share just a couple of brief comments. What a great day. This is awesome. Congratulations to our valedictorian and salutatorian. Great talks there. Appreciate that. And so I'm going to keep my comments very brief today. As you sit here, you are approaching the beginnings of a massive transition. Tomorrow, the structure changes. The daily routines change. And very soon, you're going to run full speed into a world that loves to hand out advice.
One for me, one for Darla, one for you.
People will tell you to be
I didn't
realistic.
get the money for that.
They will tell you to play it safe, to watch out for the roadblocks, and to find a comfortable lane. But I want to argue that the greatest obstacle you'll face in the coming years isn't the difficulty of a college class or a competitive job market or a changing economy. The greatest obstacle is often the individual ceiling that we place in our own minds.
I looked at the list. He's literally last.
I'm reminded of a brilliant line from a very unexpected place, one of my favorite movies.
Here.
It's the Pixar animation movie Cars 3.
No, it's hot. So,
I really like that movie. In the movie, a reporter asks Lightning McQueen how he knew he could race so well, how he knew he had it in him to compete at such an elite level. His answer was profoundly simple. He said, "I don't know. I just never thought I could have." Think about that for a second. That is a very powerful statement.
perfect. Then I get all my
Somewhere
money.
between childhood and adulthood, the world often tries to teach us how to doubt ourselves.
Go by dad one.
It tries to hand us a list of
down there.
limitations and tells us what's
I don't know.
impossible.
But they also got
Well,
Pepsi
today my
products.
challenge to you is to tear up that list. Hold on to the absolutely endless possibilities you have right now.
Go there. Go to there.
When you look forward to the
So this is
future and
stuff.
dream
Something.
about the businesses you want to build, the industries you want to change for the good, the families you want to raise, the communities you want to lead, approach them with the absolute certainty that you belong in that driver's seat. Your future is boundless, not because it'll be easy, but because you have the power to refuse limitations others try to place on you. So run your race, trust your drive, and live a life where you simply never think you can't. Congratulations, class of 2026. You've more than earned it. Trustee Tinbrink, would you please join me at the podium? It is my pleasure to present to you the Lake City High School graduating class of 2026, which has completed all requirements for graduation.
I love graduations. I love seeing you guys getting ready to graduate. I love seeing the people who care about you gathered. Today is a really exciting day. And you have worked for a long time to get here. You've worked for many years to be at this point. And I hope that each of you are proud of yourselves. I hope you're proud of the work that you have done to get here. I also think
Jacob Allen Duncan.
Eli Augustus Aparicio.
Okay, so Jacob's gonna perform right here. So we're gonna attempt to lower this. Yeah, but I have to be able to get under there where they are. Such a pain.
I wonder where those balloons are going.
They're
We chased him down, trying to catch him. And I can see him for a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me as the chamber choir under the direction of Miss Brittany Funneller perform for Lake City High School.
this way.
Tired, like. I see him. Get her in.
Don't worry about it.
We can watch it in the house later.
Yeah, I'll edit it all in one video form. But don't talk because it'll pick up our voices.
City High School, class of 2026. At this time, please move your tassel to the graduate position from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, proudly present Lake City High School graduates of the class of 2026.
Okay, so they're all gonna walk out. I'm gonna catch them. Hold on.
Somebody needs to throw their hat. They gotta walk around and grab a hat. Yeah, you just gotta bring me back his. I wanna keep it.
No, his parents pay a lot of money for those.
How to go about these people walking? Not even have them. Because they're stuck in the chair.
Do you see Jacob yet? No, he's in the front. And then there's tall people in front of me. Alright, I'm gonna have to raise it up. Okay, I can't see. Sarah, you're taller than me. Can the camera see them walking? Okay, perfect. I got you.
I see people.
Yeah, sorry. He's all the way in the front, so he's gonna be like one of the last people to walk out. Do you want to go to public high school? Why? Ask me a question. I'll miss out on things like this.
The reason I want to go, yes. Oh, we should have just had him dye his hair bright orange.
It would have been a lot easier to find him. Then again, he's already a mountain, so.
You look for friends with the baby.
I can see. He's back there with the curly hair. Call his name.